Hey, welcome to P&W Repair. Joining us for the first time, I'm Andy. We managed to score a free 8-horse rear tine rototiller. As you can see, it could use a little work. Doesn't currently run. The recoil cord, the pull starts, seen better days. The tire on the wheel on that side is currently not on the wheel. Tire on this side blown off the bead. The rest of it, who knows the actual condition of it. We're gonna make this engine run, and then we'll see what else needs to be done. So I'm going to start by removing the recoil starter. We got to have some kind of way to actually turn the motor or see if we can get this thing to start. Don't need the recoil starter to start it. There will be the crank bolt on the other side of that starter, at least I think, that we will, well, that may be a bigger problem than I thought. Original plan was to just put a socket and a drill on the end of it and drive it that way. Well, that might pose a problem with this crossbar right there, so we'll see what we're working with when we get down into it. See if we can't figure something out. The other thing we might be able to do here is simply put a pull cord on the crank. Yeah, we'll have to rewind it 5,000 times, but that might be our only option in all reality here. Let's get a adjustable wrench. Make sure the motor does turn. I think this thing was stored in a barn, so, oh yeah. Has hardly any resistance. I'd say we've done full rotation by now, huh? Yeah, it definitely has. Well, that's a good start. Next question is, well, I might just end up cutting the cord out of this unit and using it. So I think it's get up and go, it's got up and gone. I think that spring might be broke, or it's just so fatigued. Oops. And you can rewind it by hand, I suppose. Do I sacrifice? I guess let me get on the Google real quick make sure I can source a replacement for this. Well, oddly enough, I took this recoil starter apart thinking I was going to find a broken spring, and it appears the spring is actually intact. So I'm going to go ahead and try to rewind this and reinstall the recoil starter back on the engine and see if we can get it working correctly. Well, it definitely wasn't the easiest thing to do, but it's working the way it should now. So we'll put it back on and see if we have a operational recoil starter. Well, unfortunately that starter is still not happy. Pulled it a few times and it stuck out a little, but it's recoiling some. Whether or not it'll be enough to get it to pop off, I don't know, but I already checked the oil, it's got oil in it. It does not have any gas in it. It was bone dry, so I'm going to put a little bit of gas in it. And we'll see what we see. Maybe a little more than that. Should be enough. Yeah, it's got half a tank now. Oh, I see we have a leak. Maybe that's why there's no gas in it, huh? Afraid of that. Where are we leaking from? Small piece of fuel line here. Luckily, looks like we got a shut off here. I was wondering why the tank was dry, but that definitely explains it, doesn't it? Okay, let's find some quarter line and we'll replace that small section. As you can see, that line's seen better days, along with the constant tension clamps that were on it. So we got a new section quarter line and 2 new worm screw clamps. All right, let's check that. Beautiful. Not leaking now. So I've turned the throttle roughly halfway. This machine looks like to kill it. There is a stop position on the throttle, so I'm assuming it just closes off air through the carburetor. So with that, as long as we have spark, and as long as the fuel make it happen or is making fuel happen, we should have something happen here. Check it for spark. Something tells me we got no sparkulations. Do not have a spark tester here either, do I? So, see if I can do this and not shock myself. Probably not. Yeah, no spark. Okay. So, if that's the case, we may be dead in the water. I don't know whether or not a magneto is going to be available for one of these. Well, it might be. Unless I'm missing something. I'll do some research. See if I can source some parts. Well, I did hop on Google and check around. Decided it'd be easier to just remove the mag and see if I can't maybe pull a part number off of it. I do have a model number on this cover of 195432 for this engine, so that'll help. I did find one on Amazon that does show currently unavailable, so wanted to actually be sure I have the right part number before I search too heavy for that one. So went back ahead, remove the recoil starter, 4 screws for that, then 4 bolts for the engine cover. From here, this actually, I don't know if you're in frame or not. Kind of. Here, let's move you. So, right here is the mag or coil, whatever you want to call it, on this engine. What does that say? This side out. That doesn't help me. Suppose we can remove it. What do you reckon those are? 1/4 inch? You know, guy must be stoned. You know, I said 1/4 inch. First size, I looked at it and said 1/4 inch. Well, the driver I put on there is just so clapped out, it wasn't biting. Go figure. It is, in fact, a 1/4 inch out on there. Now with a 1/4 inch socket that's not clapped out, they come right loose. Something to pry the spade off of there. There it is. All right. We have D389 stamped into it. And at the moment, that's the only thing I see stamped in it. So let me search that part number. or number, whatever it is. I was actually just about to put the mag back on, set the air gap, and disconnect this wire that, as far as I can tell, this is what grounds it and actually kills the mag. So this would kill your spark in theory and kill the motor. I track this down. It goes into a lug right there, which goes to this wire that goes up through that handlebar up to a micro switch up there, from what I can tell. Those little paddles under there that I'm not sure what the hell they do. So with that, yeah, I was getting ready to do that, and I was just being sure how this was routed here, and then I got to pulling on this wire. See if it'll focus. See that clean copper? Maybe? Come on, focus. Right through the insulation there. There it is. So we're gonna repair that with some fresh wire and reassemble and see if we have spark. So I got our new wire all made up. It's routed. Mag is on there. I am setting the air gap right now. According to the Google, anywhere from 10 to 15 thousandths is what the air gap should be for this particular engine. This feeler gauge set does not have a 10 thou. However, it does have a 12 thou in its brass gauges, so I'm going to set them to 12 thousandths. And that should do the trick. All right. So with that, magneto's all hooked back up. I suppose in reality, just to rule that switch out, if we still don't have spark, I'll just disconnect it there. What else do I need? I'm gonna have to at least put that cover on lightly, just to put that recoil starter on, huh? Well, there. That's simple. Put a couple bolts in that. Now, after we do this, and if we still have no spark, I am confident at that point that we need to replace the magneto. I kind of question whether or not that wire was grounding it out. What the hell is going on? There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. It could easily have been ground out on this cover, because it looks like that's where it was chafed at. It was right along this cover where the cover would have rode on it. So it definitely could have wore through and grounded it out. tell you what, though, we'll know soon enough here. Wouldn't it be cool if I didn't have to buy any parts? I love those ones. And people wonder why I love old equipment like this thing. It's usually the simple things to take it out. It's less common to come across catastrophic failures that are an end all for an engine. I am going to have to, at a bare minimum for this, after I get it running, bare minimum, I'm going to have to find a new recoil starter. This thing's got some issues with it. I don't know if it's that spring's tired or what, but the rope will get stuck in its out position at random. I clocked that wrong, didn't I? Oh well, don't matter. It'll work for what we're doing here. Yeah, the cord was coming out the side originally. Whatever. Doesn't hurt anything. So, have the cover off the air filter, that doesn't matter. Let's see if we got spark. You know what? I'll take one for the team. Okay, let's try to unplug. Oh, yep. It's that micro switch that's killing our spark. It's got spark now. Let's turn our fuel back on. Resituate you guys. Then we'll see. Or is the fuel on? That would be on, I think. Yeah, the fuel's on. Alright, so I'll resituate you. And see if the dinosaur fuel make it happen or makes fuel happen. Moment of truth, huh? I don't see any kind of a, oh, there is a choke here. Maybe that's choke. Let's find out. throttle back to stop position. Let's light it off once more, huh? Might not like the fuel that low on there. The carburetor might be adjusted. I gotta tell you, that thing runs pretty darn good. I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil on that motor before we go any further with that. As well as get both, well, probably I'm gonna have to order tubes. I'm sure that's not gonna take air. So I'll get some tubes ordered up. We'll get the oil changed. Yeah. So this micro switch, what it looks like, it's not necessarily the micro switch is faulty, but someone has to be on these paddles, has to have them compressed, or that wire will ground it. So this is a two-man operation, how this was designed to start it, the way I see it. Someone would have to be on these paddles while someone pulled the crank, or pulled the recoil starter, and fire up. As soon as you let off these, they kill. So we're going to have that wire there, but keep it omitted so it's a one-man operation at the moment. Whoever ends up, this is something I'm just bringing it back and flipping it basically. But whoever is the proud new owner of it, when I'm done with it, they will be made aware of exactly that. And of course, when I have someone over here to help me, I will plug that in and confirm that that is exactly how that's designed. But, cool. Let's dump the oil. Well, this pipe plug actually, this is pretty cool. Has a magnetic pipe plug for a drain plug in it. Did have a little bit of metal in there, but I don't know the actual age of this machine, but I know it's definitely had some years of use. I did find when I was looking for a mag, I did come across a complete 8-horse industrial commercial same model engine that's listed on, I want to say it was eBay right now. The guy is actually asking $1,500 for an antique 8-horse Briggs and Stratton, same motor, which is ridiculous. I can't imagine anyone would actually pay that, but maybe I'm wrong. So if you are in the market to get your antique 8-horse Briggs and Stratton engine and you feel the need to have a rototiller attached to it and you want to give me $1,500 for said 8-horse engine, please send me a message and we'll make it happen. Otherwise, I'll just carry on with selling it as a old, decent rototiller. Oil don't look totally horrible. It's dark, but who knows the last time it's actually been changed. So we'll get that all changed out, order up some tubes for these tires, get the tires mounted, and then we'll check the operation and everything else. It's gonna be too difficult to put this up on blocks and try to run it on blocks. I don't want to take the chance of it falling off and damaging anything. The customer that gave this machine to me did tell me they have to find them, but they do have a new set of tines for it as well as some other parts for it. So it should be a pretty nice unit at the end here. Yeah, that's where we stand for now. I'll probably make an additional video on it when I mount the tires and put tines on it and do that jazz, but it's kind of going to do it for this one. Just a short one, nothing too crazy. Really do appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like and subscribe as well as share, and till next time, have a good one.